you guys. I want to bring you guys a review of Belle Collective Season 6, Episode 3. Basically, we're to the point where we are as I say, stage left. We have in the left corner, we have So Gucci, and we have Sunjai's mother. Basically, everybody's saying that it was a setup and that Selena was basically set up. The reason why they're saying that is that if you're not familiar with the backstory, Selena was married to JJ first. Now, fast forward 10 years later, they're divorced. He is currently married to Soguchi. Basically, JJ is to the point where he's up in arms about it. He's mainly he says he's upset with because he knows that Letitia basically in his mind set up his wife to actually be there, knowing that him and his ex-wife Selena they don't get along. Basically, what happened was Letitia had an event for her wig line. She invited both of the ladies. They basically got into a altercation. It started with Selena basically was asking So Gucci why she wasn't speaking to her. So Gucci was to the point where she was speaking to Tambra and didn't speak to Selena. So Selena made it a big issue about why she didn't speak. So they got into an actual word match about the fact that Selena had a actual bridal shower for her actual daughter, and she asked her why she didn't help. So Gucci was like, "Well, I wasn't finna help anyway." So she was like, "Either way, it seems like you got animosity with me." And she was like, "No, it's not no animosity towards you. I just was not trying to help out at the event at that time." So they got into a shouting match, basically back and forth. They had words. You can pretty much see these ladies don't just like oil and water, they don't mix. Basically, the thing is, everybody is up in arms about it. And the fact that it actually got violent, allegedly, someone's hand got cut. They had to be rushed to the ER. Basically, so Gucci goes home. She actually is had a talk with JJ about the situation. He's very, very irate. He basically tells her that he doesn't understand why Letitia invited both of them to be at the same event in the first place. He says that he thinks it was actually a setup and that he actually felt like Letitia premeditated this. I personally don't think it was one of those things where she premeditated it. I think one of those things where she basically tried to get both of the same ladies in the room. I guess she felt like they were going to be grown women about it and not actually argue. Basically have, a conversation. We also to the point where the event basically was ruined. Everybody decided it was going to exit stage left, and the event was ruined. With that actual fight and the way it ended, a lot of people felt up in arms about it and left a bad taste in people's mouth. Letitia actually had a actual meetup with one of the people that actually was at the party, which was Misha. Misha basically was one of the clients that Letitia was trying to actually in other words take on her wing as an entrepreneur. Basically, in Letitia's eyes, she feels like this made her not only made Letitia look bad, but made her look bad as well, considering that she was trying to get her actual client Misha to actually see how entrepreneurs actually mesh well together. But she said this actual event took an actual bad turn, to say the least. Also, we get to the point where we see Glenn. He's back in the studio, and I have to chuckle at that. Glenn is basically, I guess, he's having a midlife crisis. And he's basically getting in the studio trying to get, as I say, his problems out. And there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, we know he's having an issue. Him and Letitia, they actually are going through marital problems yet again, like they did last season. Basically, he tries to give JJ a little advice about what happened, and JJ basically feels it in his lap about what happened with So Gucci and actually his wife, ex-wife Selena. Basically, Glenn is basically didn't know what was going on. He wasn't there. JJ informs him that he still thinks that Letitia had something to do with that. As he says, her horns that are up under that wig that she possesses, that she thinks that he thinks that she set his wife and his ex-wife up to actually argue and fight. Yeah. I didn't get no weapon. Ma, I didn't get no weapon. No. Go and shut now. Just go to bed. Go to bed. Sorry about this, you guys. But yeah, I personally don't think it's one of the things Letitia tried to set the ladies up to fight or anything like that. I think Letitia pretty much was trying to get them the benefit of the doubt. Basically have an event, invite everybody, thinking that they all would be grown women about it. But I don't think she knew that they were actually going to have that conversation, nonetheless, either have that actual altercation. Uh, Keisha basically welcomes her husband Willie back home. He has been in Chicago. He's filming. If you're not familiar with him, his background, he actually is a sportscaster, and he actually had to go off and do an event, and he decided he wanted to come back home and actually check in with the fam and see what was going on. Keisha is basically still doing a renovation for Fair Street. She basically lets her husband know that everything is going as planned. They got a few little bumps in the road, and it is what it is, and everything is still in the running to actually redesign and renovate Fair Street. Fair Street is pretty much her baby, and she decided that she wanted to take on this actual renovation process and actually, renovate a downtown district of her hometown. She actually meets with her aunt, and they basically go over the actual meat and potatoes of the situation, as far as the landscaping is concerned, the money and everything like that. Who knew that Akeisha actually was heir to a lot of money, considering that her aunt let her know that if in the event of her death, that everything would go to Akeisha. Akeisha graciously lets her aunt know that she will do everything she can in her power when that time comes to actually take over and be able to run the empire, as we say, and actually, design and create with her aunt's best interest at heart. It's great to see Akeisha in her actual home setting with her husband. Seems like that's really pretty much where she likes to be. She does have two small children. Actually, they are glad to see their dad, considering the dad has been away for a minute filming. He decides he wants to come home and actually, have some family time, which is very much needed. But Mr. JJ is to the point he's upset, considering it is what it is. But here again, we see Selena to the point where her back is against the wall. Sunjai, actually, her oldest daughter, she decides that she wants to come into the forefront and actually let everybody know that her mom is pretty much held back and not said anything up until this point. She feels like at the end of the day, her mom had every right to speak her mind and say what she felt. Like she said, she feels like her mom at this point was not the aggressor. She basically was defending herself. Me looking at it from my standpoint, I pretty much think it's one of those things where just a little argument with amongst ladies that actually kind of went left. I don't think it's one of those things where anybody planned to actually hurt or harm each other, but when women get together, things like that happens. But I don't think it's one of those things like JJ says that Selena is jealous of him and Gucci's relationship. I don't think that's what it is. We can clearly see that Selena has moved on. Selena has her own relationship that she's in. But I think it's one of the things where she tried to check Miss Gucci, and Miss Gucci didn't want to get checked, and it actually went left. But I think it's one of the things where Sunjay is basically going to be the bigger person, actually let them know that, hey, I'm going to take up for my mom. I'm not going to let nobody say nothing bad about my mom. And most importantly, I am going to be on my mom's side, which she has every right to be. Now, as far as Letitia and Glenn's situation, they basically still are, as I say, in their honeymoon phase or whatever. They still arguing back and forth, pretend like they ain't living together. I personally think they are living together. I think it's just a storyline. They always do this every season. I mean, he feels like, at the end of the day, that Letitia's not actually giving him a chance he needs. He wants to repair his family, blase this, blase that. We also to the point where we are front and center, and we come to the point where he lets us know that his grandmother is actually in the final stages of cancer. He wants the teacher actually to be in his corner. Not only that, he wants to get his family back together. Like he said, he does not want to raise his son in two separate households. Like he said, he was raised on the one parent household, and that's what he wants for his son. But she said she don't have a problem with that, but she want Glenn to understand that, she's not going to keep going back and forth, and he keep doing the same thing, which we already know what it is. He basically cheating on Letitia, and Letitia is pretty much tired of being, in other words, him doing what he doing, thinking she gonna come crawling back. I don't think one of the things where Glenn gonna actually grow up at this point. Glenn gonna do what he do. She's gonna keep taking it back. It's gonna best be a never-ending process. Hopefully one day they'll decide they're gonna grow up and do what's best for the actual benefit of that particular child. But this particular time, we are seeing Letitia. Everybody's pretty much blaming her for the scenario that went down at that wig show. I personally don't think everybody can put the blame on Letitia. Letitia didn't pretty much know how this thing was gonna pan out. I don't think that's what she wanted. I really don't think she wanted these two women to go at it at all. I think she just wanted a thing where she pretty much in the middle. She pretty much cool with both of them. It is what it is. But JJ pretty much want to intersect himself into it and basically, make Selena look like the bad guy. Like he told so Gucci, he gonna go and run her bad water. He gonna pretty much let Selena know what she missing. He gonna give it to Sunjay. No, I'm sorry, not Sunjay. So Gucci. I hope it's not to the point where he's trying to make Selena jealous. I don't think Selena care at this point. I don't think she pretty much feel like she got to be in competition with So Gucci. She just wanted, like I said in the beginning, check her, let her know, hey, you see me standing here, you could do something simple as speak. I think it's one of those certain things where women they pretty much get offended when a woman does that, adamantly tries to overlook them and not speak to them, considering they probably pretty much have some tension in the room anyway, considering that they are two exes of the same particular man. Now JJ is to the point where he wants to pretty much, as I say, stick his little thing out, and I mean his. In other words, throw his little male ego out there and pretend like, the two women fighting over him, but that ain't what this is. I think it's one thing, a mutual respect type thing. It is what it is. In my mind, so Gucci could have just, blatantly said, okay, yeah, girl, I see you, and what? But I just hate that it had to go left and it got violent. I don't like to see that type of thing play out on an actual screen. Hopefully, these two women will decide that they want to, make amends or however and decide what's best because then they are a blended family and they have to be around each other, considering that JJ and Selena now have a new grandson. So they pretty much gonna have to show enough be around each other for the sake of that new grandbaby. But JJ pretty much takes us down memory lane, lets us know that, in the beginning the girls did live with him and that so Gucci did kind of help him out a lot. Considering he says alleged that Selena was pretty much a product girl. She really wasn't doing what she's supposed to do. Hence the reason why the girls were living with him. We all know JJ from Bring It On. He pretty much, he love those girls. They are his daddy girls. He calls them that. He pretty much teen his girls. He don't play by them girls. But at the end of the day, I think it's one of the things where he felt like he ain't played by his wife so Gucci at that point. He was pretty much trying to be protective of her. But we have to understand, two wrongs don't make a right. Hopefully these women will get the chance to actually, be in the same room, actually apologize and maybe make amends. But this particular season of Belle Collective, I'm here for it. I actually love it. The growth of the ladies, they have come a long way. It is what it is. We also get to the point where we see Miss Marie in her element. She actually is with her granddaughter. She takes us to an actual ballet class and they actually got a chance to actually do one-on-ones and see the progress at the actual meetup. Maria's been through a lot. I'm thinking right now her divorce is actually playing out. Maria's to the point where she actually went on a couple of dates that Letitia actually set her up with, but the last date was a flop. Like she said, why would you send me out with that juvenile delinquent? At the end of the day, you knew what time it was. Letitia laughed it off. I was like, okay, Marie was not going to be into that man. I don't know why you even set her up with that man, but it is what it is. Hope Marie will go on several other dates, and maybe find her a gentleman caller and actually, get settled however it goes. But Marie right now I think is pretty much having fun. She's not to the point she's trying to get settled in with any particular guy. But I'm glad to see how these ladies are actually developing. Everybody like they're going in a positive direction. And I think that's pretty much good for them. I'm welcome. In other words, I'm ready to see what happens on the next episode, what type of rabbit hole these ladies take us down in. But you already know that whatever rabbit hole they take us down under, I will be there and I will report back to you guys, let you guys know what's going on. Hope you guys will enjoy it. And most importantly, I thank you guys so much for the support on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video, guys. Bye. What are you doing? What are you doing?